Welcome to another episode of Five on the Play. I'm your host, Kristy Love, and here we got Dan from the Three Kings podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I could be better.
Of course, we
we're
all
gonna
good. We all good.
we're gonna talk about it. On today's show, we do have a guest, but before we intro him, let's go ahead and intro my intro for the show.
Let's get it.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Kristy Love, and here's my co host, Dan. Before we get into today's show, make sure you guys follow Team NBS Media on all social media platforms. Check us out online at teamnbsmedia.com. Check out our articles, YouTube shows, podcasts, everything. And you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I am Kristy Love. Where can I find you, Dan?
Of course, you can find me at Danikin_DG3, Three Kings in the Midway podcast as well. We shoot that off. Be recording that later on tonight. So we got plenty of stuff jumping off.
All right. So, as you all know, the Chicago Bears had this embarrassing loss against the Washington Commanders. Like, embarrassing is an understatement. It's tragic, like bad. So for today's guest, he is a diehard Commanders fan. He talk his stuff day in and day out on Twitter. So let me go ahead and bring in our guest, Caleb. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hope you're having a good night so far.
What's happening, man?
Yeah.
Doing, y'all. Hey, look, shout out to y'all for having me on the pod. Just want to appreciate that for once.
Absolutely.
Great for especially a black woman as yourself doing this. That's a really great thing that you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Keep going with that.
Absolutely.
What's the name of your podcast, bro? Again? What the one you got?
Three Kings in the Midway.
Three Kings of the Midwest. Shout out to that.
Appreciate it.
Wish you great success for that.
Appreciate it.
Got a part of my own command time, so if y'all want to ever come support, just hit us up. We go
Absolutely.
out on YouTube, but
For sure.
I don't know what to say, y'all. Y'all see what I'm rocking. It's a little throwback, but
Yep.
I just want to say this towards the game. Going into the game, I told Chrissy before you was here that on paper, offensively, I got some skill players.
We do.
Roma Dunze, probably his third best receiver prospect going into the draft. Keenan Allen has always been good. People know about him. DJ Moore is very underrated. I saw what he did in Carolina, and I saw what we did to us last year. Killed us last year. Y'all destroyed us last year. Very, 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 very bad. And y'all got solid group of backs too. Cole Kmet's an underrated tight end as well. And I got Darnell Wright, who I wanted us to get. Yeah, I got him last year, I believe. Right tackle. Solid player. Y'all defense is really good.
It is.
Y'all defense is really good. And y'all missing some players too.
Yep.
And we was driving on the field. I think we had 500 total yards on offense. But I'm one of those fans, I will be up front and I will look at it from all standpoints, and I'll be unbiased. Y'all red zone defense, one of the best in the league, top 5, I think, last time I checked in touchdown percentage allowed, and we were one of the best scoring teams. So, going into that game, you knew like when you get in the red zone, you got to punch it in. That's just with any team in general. You got to put up points. So we drove on the field. You just couldn't convert, but that just goes to how great you guys are as well. You got to tip your hat off to the defense.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns were called back. The Ertz one, questionable. Some people would say it's a touchdown. Some people say it isn't, but you know how the NFL rule is. You have to have conclusive evidence as to why they should overturn it. Oh, Zacchaeus had a touchdown. We got a penalty on that too. And even the one with Montez Sweat, last time I checked, I looked at the all 22 when Jaden rolled out to the right and Montez Sweat, I think, went for an inside move. Jaden had Luke McCaffrey down there too as well. hats off to credit to Jaden for getting that ball out, which is pretty incredible for you to get the ball out like that against Montez Sweat because he was on my team, so I know how he is. 6'4",
Uh-huh.
230 something pounds. He's a
Yep.
freak athlete. We traded back
Yep.
up into the first round to get him in 2019 when we drafted Dwayne Haskins.
Mhm.
So I know how good he is. He's great against the run too.
Yeah.
Uh, sometimes in the past he was better than Chase Young, but people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But y'all were missing Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon. Those
Yep.
are two good
Heavy
DBs
hitters.
you guys have. So I would look at it from our standpoint, whereas we're going up against a great defense, even against the Ravens. The Ravens are known to be a defensive team, but this year it's looking real shaky because they lost Mike McDonald. He's the head coach over there for the Seahawks. They lost him, so the defense took a little step back. So the scheme is messing up for them. But we went up against some solid defenses this year. I think we got another good defense coming up in the Steelers. But this is a good test for me to see how we can move the ball against a really good defense. We moved the ball pretty well, like I said before. It's just that red zone defense y'all got, man. So
that's something that the Bears have they've been doing that to everybody, right? There's not a lot of teams that go out and can put up 20 points against Chicago. So we're in all of these games, and it's like if we could just put up enough points to, put up 20 and you have a real good chance of winning the game anytime you step foot out there. So that's our biggest concern. So, you guys were able to move the ball. Got to give guys credit, man. We was in Spaces the other day. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time, man. You was in there with us,
for sure. It's all banner at the end. It's all banner at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can talk some trash, and it's not much we can say, right? Like y'all moved the ball, y'all did this and that. You didn't score as much as you wanted to, probably.
Of course.
Instead of kicking field goals, you want to convert that into touchdowns, but the Bears kind of thwart a lot of people when it comes to putting points on the board. So, you know what I mean? I like what our defense is doing. I'm not a fan of how much they give up yardage wise, right? Yardage wise, I think they give up a lot. But if you're not putting points on the board, then that's the biggest concern.
Yeah.
It don't matter how much yards you put up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, I have to say, I talk about the same thing with my fan base. You look at the Bucs last year in their defense, right? They gave up a lot of yards. Yards allowed, they were up there.
Right.
That red zone defense, when it's time to lock down, you got to lock down. But in certain points in the game, you do have to get stops in certain points of the game, whereas you don't want to even let them get a field goal. But we were questioning before the game, like, let's see what offenses the Bears have played. I think before y'all played us, the best offense y'all played was probably the Texans. I think they were ranked 14th and a lot. Yeah, that was the best offense y'all played in. And y'all gave CJ Stroud some problems.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: we didn't put up a lot of points on y'all, but the fact Jaden is starting to become very special in this aspect. Whereas he had the highest of all the defenses, all the quarterbacks y'all faced. Jaden Daniels put up the highest QBR among all of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So just to show that, like, injured too. And I was a little concerned. Y'all tested his rib a little bit.
He was. We did hit him. We hit him a couple times. That was good. You know what I mean? And if you out there, bro, like, I don't wish injury on nobody, of course.
For sure.
But if you're out there, you're out there. You know what I mean? We're not gonna take it easy.
Absolutely.
What I will say is this: the Bears were missing 2 starters in their secondary too.
Yeah.
So I know that kind of. I'm not gonna say it helped his numbers because we can't sneeze at his numbers. He's been doing it from the beginning of the season. So like I said, he's been putting up decent numbers, and he's getting game by game better, similar to what Caleb was doing, getting game by game better.
Yeah.
And you see the maturation of their skills and the adjustments that teams are having to do for them. So you got to give these guys credit, man. They had a nice little game plan. You guys went in there and they executed the game plan better than our Bears did.
Their defense looked good.
Their defense. I don't know about their defense. They defense. I'm not giving them credit because I'm sorry, I can't give their defense
They
credit.
look
That's
better than what I thought. That's why I say that.
they look better because the Bears were so inept at what they was doing.
That's true.
Let's just be real.
But they came in on business. Like
Now,
really.
I will say this to your point there. I'm gonna say this about the defense. Even going into the season, I thought this defense was gonna be really, 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 really bad.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at just on paper, it's corners. We need an outside corner. Mike Sandwistrill, who we drafted, analysts raved about him. They feel like he can be one of the best nickels in the NFL, and he's playing out of position right now. He's playing outside corner right now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a true number one edge. John Allen, who's supposed to be our best defensive player, isn't throughout this season so far, and he's out for the season. He wasn't playing like the best player on defense. Shout out to my boy Johnny Newton. I looked at that all 22. He was in the backfield a lot on certain cases, and he kind of flustered Caleb Williams a little bit. But like you said, Caleb in the fourth quarter, he started getting used to the groove. But sometimes it's too little, too late, and I don't knock on Caleb at all. I feel like as a prospect, I told Kristy this before. As a prospect, he has the physical traits. It's there. Now, playing the position, it's all about the mental capacity as well, too. But with every quarterback that comes in as a rookie, and even as a veteran, you look at Baker, you look at Jared Goff, you look at even Sam Darnold, systems and environment matters for these quarterbacks. So,
absolutely.
Now, I know Chicago Bears, y'all have a history of developing quarterbacks, and it's a little rough.
A little rough.
Same as y'all. Same as y'all.
For sure. We've had situations where we've had numerous starters. We've had Kirk Cousins here, who's the best technically, statistically for our history. RG3 was a flash that we had. It was so exciting. I was in 8th grade going into 9th grade.
I still wish he had never played in that playoff series, that playoff game that y'all had, and because I think he came back from that injury too soon to his knee.
He did.
His knee was hanging, and he was never right after that situation. If he had just sat back and let it heal, his career might have been different, and it might have lasted with you guys a little bit longer than it did.
Not only that, but only Commander fans, Redskins fans, we know this for sure. We was up 14-0 in that game against the Seahawks. We could have subbed him out. Kirk Cousins would have played. All he had to do was just game manage.
That's it.
But like I said, environment matters. Yeah. When you have a terrible owner who wanted you, he wanted you. The head coach didn't want you. The head coach never wanted you. He wanted Andrew Luck. He wanted Russell Wilson. He wanted Kirk Cousins.
Right.
He was forced upon him. So that already is going to it's just not going to work for the long run. Everybody has to come into agreement. Is this the guy that we want? Do we believe he can do this? Can we coach him up? Does he have the mental capacity? Also, the attitude outside the film room. What does he do? Not only for his teammates, but for the community as well. Like, people care about the person, too. Especially, my GM, Adam Peters, he cares about the person. He sees you as a prospect, but he wants to know how you are as a man, how you are as just an individual, what you can bring to the team. So, with that RG3 thing, man, you are correct. It was rough for a lot of people. So, but I think with Caleb, man, he'll be fine. I feel like the coaching staff has to come together. Everything has to just mesh well together.
And that's the problem.
I've said this before, Dan. Like, Bears fans talked about, gimmicky offense, this, and that. Even if it is, so what? Like, you want to give your core, and I think I came into your space and I told you that. You want to get, weeks ago, you want to give a young quarterback easy reads. Like, that's what we did.
Absolutely.
We did a lot of stuff behind the line of scrimmage. And then as the season went on, we started doing less and less and less of that.
And that's the thing. Like, and I'm going to be honest, the Bears fan base is weird sometimes, right? Because they want this throw the ball down the field, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And you'll never have that in Chicago. Number one, the weather won't permit it. As long as we're playing outside, the weather, the wind will not permit you to play that type of football for the entire season. If you look at the history of the Bears, even back when Rex Grossman was there, right? He'd start off, and in the first 4 or 5 games, Rex would be 350, 300 yards, blah, 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 4 touchdowns, doing all this stuff in the spring, you know what I mean, in the fall. And then when the weather starts to get cold and starts to set in, and that wind starts blowing off the lake really bad, bro, you can't throw the ball in that type of weather, not like you want to, right? So you got to take what the defense gives you. And I know a lot of Bears fans, like, they were messing with y'all last week saying, you know, he runs a gimmicky offense. He's a quarterback, you know, a college quarterback, Jaden Daniels, this, that, and the third. And to me, that's nonsense. That's people, you know, you just, you know, they're just firing off shots about whatever. And you're not really seeing the football game for what it is. The GOAT, the consensus GOAT that everybody considers the GOAT of everything, right? Is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He was a check down machine. That's all he did is check down, check down, check down. You know what I mean? That's what he did. Joe Montana back in the day with the West Coast offense, the game was predicated on getting my guys the ball quickly and letting them run after the catch. Jerry Rice, all of those guys, they would run after the catch. Now, sure, they take deep shots, you know what I mean? And you take deep shots when you can take them, but you don't just take them over and over and over without keeping the defense honest, letting them creep up and then throw it over the top of their heads. So that's what, you know, that's not a gimmicky offense, man. That's just playing smart football, in my opinion.
And I feel like with y'all, as much as all 22, or much as this film I could just find on YouTube, I just try to do my research as much as possible. Y'all just making it hard on the brother.
That's it.
Y'all just making it hard on, like, y'all. It's like, for me, it's like, you're Caleb Williams, #1 pick. You got all this talent. We want you to do A, B, C, D, whatever. We want you to do all this.
We're just impatient. I mean, like I said on my show, like maybe a couple weeks ago, we're just impatient because we've been through so much BS with quarterbacks in the past. Justin Fields, Trubisky, Jay Cutler, Rex Grossman. Like, you know. So it's like we got a real quarterback that can do all these amazing things. You know, we want to see results like right then and there. And I get it. Because I was like that. I'm not going to lie, I was. You know, because I wasn't a big Caleb fan, whatever. But, okay, he got an arm. Let's see it. You know, make these amazing throws. But he is a rookie too. You know what I'm saying? So I get both sides of it. But we in week 9. You know, we're in week 9.
He like I told you, Kristy, he'll be fine going down the road. In my opinion, my thing is,
hopefully,
you got to be paid. You just have to. Look at what the Colts doing with AR. Like, I get it. AR's playing bad. He's a raw prospect. Like, he just got benched though. He did. He makes the most difficult throws so easy, and he makes the easy throws look hard. Like, he's great, the deep shots, but short intermediate, it's bad, and you have to. You have to you just have to surround these guys, man. But going back to your point about the defense, Dan, I've said throughout the season, I just need my defense to be, I don't need them to be elite, because I feel like you guys got a great defense. I don't need them to be that. I just need them to get stops when it matters. You saw with the Chiefs when they went to the bowl the first time. They had a great offense. Their defense was average, but when it came down for them to get a stop, they got a stop.
They was able to get it, exactly.
So, and we're doing this. We don't even have. This is supposed to be the first year of the rebuild, so we're overachieving for sure. But I think we have great coaching as well. Everything trickles down from the owner to the ball boy. Like, that's what makes an organization successful. Absolutely. Everything starts from the top. So
absolutely.
So we're trying to coach these guys up, and we don't even have blue chip players right now. We have 10 draft picks next year in 120 million cap space. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but
the sky's the limit.
I'll say for us defending you guys, it was a little rough. I was a little nervous going into that game, but you know, the defense, they weren't perfect by any means, but they held it down long enough for us to stay in that game. Because at a certain time, I'm like, the Bears going to break through somehow, some way. We can't just keep doing it.
Can't just keep doing it. I talked to my boy, man, and he's a Detroit Lions fan, right? So I spoke to him, and he's like, man, you hold them to field goals. You're in the game, and I'm like,
Yes.
dog, like
Yes.
it's not looking good. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it. It's like it's not looking good. He said, "You just need one play," and sure enough, about 2 minutes later, that's when DeAndre Swift
Got that touchdown.
4-yard break or whatever, and it's
Yep.
like it's a 1 point. It's a 1-score game now. It's 12-7.
That shit made
We
me
in
so
this
scared.
thing. You know
That
what I mean?
shit made me
We
so
in this thing.
scared.
So it was a whole new ball game at that point,
It was.
and they was able to make some plays and they was able to do some things. Let me get y'all's vibe off of what happened, right? So the Bears are down. They scored that touchdown. You already said you was pissed off at that point. Then the Bears get the ball back again and they go down and they're at the 1-yard line. What are you thinking at that point before that handoff to Doug Kramer?
That was a terrible call.
It was a terrible call. It was a
That was
terrible call. But
that was
before
bad.
that happened, before they did it, what was you thinking? What was in your mind at that point?
Right.
Yeah, I was about to score. At a certain time, I'm looking at this. I'm like, the same way what you said, Kristy, before the show started. That typical Bears.
Yep.
This was the type of game where it's like we look like the better team throughout the whole game. So
Yeah,
for
y'all was
us,
beating us down, dragging us.
for us to come to this point where it's like, damn, bro, like we did all this for nothing, and now they about to score. I'm like, oh shit. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I was like, oh, thank you, Chicago. But I was like, yeah, this game about to end. I can't deal with this. I can't deal. I was about to be so bad, man. But yeah, it was a great. I would say it was a physical game. It was a brawl, really. That's really what it was. It was that old school smash mouth football brawl. We running the ball. Now both teams were bad on third down. I think y'all were 4. Last time I checked, y'all only converted 4 times to like 12 or 13. We were 5 for 15, and we're one of the best third down conversion offenses in the league. So it was a brawl. That was really a playoff game, playoff atmosphere type of game.
That's what you could say. You could say that about the game, that it lived up to the hype.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
sure.
It kind of lived up to it being a good game. They moved it, they flexed it to that position, like kind of like game of the week or whatever on CBS. That was cool. Kristy, what did you think? What was you thinking before Doug Kramer got the ball? What was you thinking? Like they're down there, it's at the 1-yard line.
About to score, be up 2 touchdowns. Let's go.
Not 2 touchdowns. We was about to be up 1. We was about to be up. Not 2 touchdowns. It was gonna be like what? Like 14. Because we was 7-12 at that point.
Touchdown, right? Yeah.
We wouldn't have been up 2 touchdowns though, right?
It would have been 14. It would have been
14-12 at that point.
You're right. Yeah,
I think
but
so.
still, we was gonna score and be up.
Yeah.
Like we might win this game for real.
And we started a lot of our drives within our own, like behind our own 20-yard line. So that just shows to how Cliff and Jaden are helping each other out well. So it's it's a great marriage between the two. So for them to again against y'all defense, for us to go down, like I saw it at the 9-yard line, 15-yard line, for us to go down into the red zone, it's pretty impressive. So, and I've said after we played the Ravens, we competed with the Ravens like to the first to fourth quarter. That just proves to me like I can be competitive with anybody. I don't care who they are, but there's going to be some. Football is all about matchups. So there's going to be some matchups that don't favor us, and we just got to fight through. And if you lose, it just shows that you don't got the pieces there yet. So, but
let's talk about the end zone, the elephant in the freaking room. What you know?
I know.
We know. What was your initial reaction to that Hail Mary pass?
Speechless. Like it's crazy. Like look, it was ridiculous. I've never seen that. For me as a fan, I've never seen that type of play.
Yeah.
Ever. like ever. I've been watching this team since like 04, 05. My first year watching this team was when we went to the playoffs and we won the game. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. That's my boy.
Yes, rest in peace.
But never seen that. Even that Bengals performance with Jaden did, I've never seen quarterback play like that. Just insane. So that Hail Mary, it's like I don't know. I don't know what type of magic we got right now, but that's just what it is. But like teams practice that every day. Teams practice that every day. Teams defend that every day. It's different when it actually comes to life and you actually have to defend that. So I think what Jaden and the offensive line did, I think that's what's the most important X factor to that play. The offensive line has to buy time. They can't be lazy. They gotta keep fighting. They gotta knock players down. You know, some Bears fans are saying it's a holding, you know, on that Hail Mary. But it's not.
You know, and that's the thing. Like Bears fans, you know, they want to find the excuse and blame and this, that, and the third. And to me,
it shouldn't have got to that point.
They wasn't rushing that hard. Exactly. It wasn't rushing that hard. It wasn't rushing. First of all, it shouldn't have got to that point because they shouldn't have gave up that 15 yards. They gave them 15 yards to put them in position to throw the Hail Mary.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you didn't give them that, he can't throw the ball to the end zone. He can't throw an 80-yard ball to the end zone or whatever it might have been.
And again,
you know what I mean? It was 65 yards air travel anyway. Now, if you take away that 15-yard gain,
it's harder.
Is he throwing the ball? You see what I'm saying? Is he throwing the ball 80 yards?
He's not doing that. The best thing in that situation is for us to get a field goal. So it's what Jaden did on that play. You got to extend. You got to buy time with your legs. And the fact Montez Sweat wasn't out there, I was really surprised. And I don't know because I looked at that all 22. I don't know what TJ Edwards was doing.
Well, he was playing spy.
But why?
And that's what I said. Why are you spying? Why are you spying a man? And he's not going to run, 80 yards to the end zone. He's not about to break it and run 80 yards to the end zone. And if he does, then he deserves it. Whatever. I don't care.
And then what does that go back to? Coaching.
It goes back to coaching.
Exactly.
Guys. But this is an ongoing theme with Chicago, bro. Like Kristy, you know this. You know what I mean?
I do.
There's been 4 games where the Bears have, in the last like 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes, 5 minutes of a game, they've been up, they've had the lead, and they've squandered it. They had 91% chance of winning the game. This past game, I think it was 96% chance. The game in Detroit last year, I was at that game, and
the Browns last year,
the crowd was hushed. Yeah. We was up 12. Justin Fields at the time. We had Justin. He made a run of 30 yards, got down. We kicked a field goal and went up 12 with like barely over 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes and 12 seconds or something like that to go in the game. They gave up 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And we lost the game. We had a 98% chance of winning that game.
That's bad.
And a lot of it is on coaching. You have to literally almost purposefully
mess it up.
Give the game away. Yeah. And the coaching in this one, the situational stuff, is what I'm talking about with Chicago because, in Eberflus, he's on a hot seat with Bears fans. I don't think he's on a hot seat. I'm not saying he's getting fired because I really don't believe he is. The Bears are 4-3. It's a long way from being fired. You know what I'm saying? Not only you want Caleb to have some consistency, right? So if you fire this guy, then there's another guy that comes in. Who do you have as interim? Do you put Shane as interim coach if you fire him? That ain't happening. Who are you going to put?
Until the season over with.
So it's just Bears fans tend to overreact to things, right?
But
now,
this is not an overreaction, though. If you think about it, because he been in the hot seat since last season.
According to Bears fans, that's my thing. It's according to Bears fans, though. It's not
certain people like outside your fan base, even in the offseason, we talked about the draft and the Bears. Can we trade up with y'all? Can we exchange? Like some people feel like the Bears should have probably just fired Eberflus and just got an offensive minded head coach.
There you go.
So for me,
that's stupid. That's the dumbest. I can't stand that argument because it's just it don't make sense to me.
For me, it's like I love the game of football. X's and O's type of guy. I love the game of football. So I look at different prospects too. I think the worst thing y'all can do is just have a cycle of doom. You're gonna do the same thing with Justin Fields. You can't do the same thing with Caleb Williams. And some teams have to overcome their history, and it's very tough to overcome your history. Um, we trying to do that now as we speak, and it's creeping like we're overcoming our history a little bit because we changed a lot of things. But I think for Chicago, it's like the pieces are there. Like it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. Like I think any good head coach would look at that roster like, yeah, this is a really good roster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Poles is a bad GM.
But it's trickled to that now. You got people saying that Poles should be fired too. Fire Eberflus, fire Poles. That's what they want. That's what Bears fans want. But this is what I'm talking about. That's what I mean by the overreaction to situation.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears are 4-3. Let's not get it twisted. They're 4-3. You still have an opportunity to make some good stuff. Even if you split the division, you beat Seattle, and you beat not Carolina, but the Cardinals. The Cardinals. You're sitting in a really good position at that point in time. You see what I'm saying? You're sitting at 9, maybe 10 wins or whatever, and you're at a decent position. Maybe you can pull another game somewhere out of the hat. But we need to pump the brakes a little bit. I told people before, this is weeks ago, the Bears were on a 3-game winning streak, but they're on a 3-game winning streak against inferior teams, teams that were not really good. Yep. Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying? Tennessee, we beat. These are guys that look at what Tennessee did with Detroit last week. They got destroyed.
They got destroyed.
They did.
I will say this.
They overreact in a good way, and Caleb is God. He's Jesus out here. And then they overreact in a bad way and say, hey, fire everybody, get rid of everybody, and let's start all over. And now Caleb has to learn another offense and so on and so forth.
I just want the head coach to be gone at this point because it's not working. Because if this is not a successful season by week 18, no playoffs, nothing, he needs to go. He had his chance.
At that point in time, I would agree.
There's not even firing season, but if it gets that bad, I feel like they should reconsider that. But like you said, firing the season and who's going to be our coach, I get that. So, in the end of the season, they don't go our way. Fire Flus, get rid of Shane. Start over with another head coach, another offensive scheme, just like Justin Fields, and then hope for the best. But at the same time, I'm sorry, hold on. At the same time,
go ahead. Go ahead,
sis.
Get your rant off.
A win now team. So if you fire Flus and them, who's going to leave from the team right now? And then that can also make more issues later on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I will say this though, with the opponent, like I kind of hate that crap too, and you haven't played a good team yet. Yeah, I get it. Trust me, I get it. You can only play who's in front of you.
That's true.
And I feel like if you're playing against bad teams or you're a good team, you should dominate that team.
That's true.
Y'all have done that.
Absolutely.
We have done that as well, where we face inferior team and we don't let them stay. We don't keep them around. Now, divisional opponents, it's a little different. That gets dicey. Everybody knows each other. Like we play the Giants, so that's going to be a tough game for us because I already know how the Giants are. Like whenever we face a divisional opponent, it's just tough. So just going on into the season with both teams, whoever's in front of you, if you're inferior, man, I'm keeping my foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
I'm beating the hell out of you. So
you beat down who you're supposed to beat down.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And here's the thing, like last week, I think I said it on this podcast and on Three Kings podcast as well. Like I wanted to see the Bears go out and I want to see them have a game where they have to struggle and get that victory, right? Maybe even win a game that you weren't supposed to win. That's what this game was. That's what this game turned into be.
I think it was that game for both teams. I think it was that type of game for both teams, to be honest, a little bit.
Well, but y'all dominated us, bro. Like y'all were supposed to win that game.
Yeah.
we really supposed to put up 20 plus, but we ain't
That's what I'm saying. So you,
Wow.
you're supposed to win that game. What I mean by is like it's a game where it's a struggle for us,
Mhm.
but somehow we overcome the situation
Hmm.
and get it done, get the job done. And here we are sitting here thinking about it again, and it has to do with coaching situations. So I'm not saying to keep Flus. That's not my thing. I think there's a lot to question, not only with Eberflus, but also with Shane Waldron. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question. So after the game, a lot of the players have been questioning coaches' decisions,
Yeah.
the play calling. Do you think they're losing the locker room after this game? A little bit. I think it might happen.
Mm,
What do you think?
I don't think the locker room is lost. I don't think that. What I do think is that there are people that have some questions as to what's going on, right? DJ Moore, he was one of them. Let's just put it out
Yeah.
there. He said, "I was confused why we called that run play to Doug Kramer." You
Right.
know what I mean? I was surprised that we called that. Surprised, but we had to do it, right? They make the calls and we run the play. You know,
Yeah.
it was a poorly called play and it was bad. It was horribly executed. So there's blame that could go all the way around. Um, Once again, you know, it's low hanging fruit to just go for one thing. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, Tyreek Stevenson, everybody is on his back right now. And true enough, he made a mistake. True enough, but he should have never been in that position. We should
Thank
have never
you.
been in that position.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So,
he
Thank
was
so
you.
the
getting.
coaching staff is really what made us put us in that position.
Yes.
And then, if your coaching staff is so dumb that you don't see a guy on the field
Not paying
playing,
attention.
not paying attention,
Call a timeout.
laughing and joking and doing whatever with the crowd,
Call a timeout.
you got timeouts. Why didn't you call one?
3 of them. We had 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
He was getting. Yeah, it was a bad day for him. He was not only that play, even the whole game. He was getting cooked.
He got one he got the one pass thrown on him to up the sideline to Terry. But
I'm looking
the,
at.
look at
I'm
it
not. Yeah,
the
yeah.
way I look at it is
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin burns a lot of people, bro.
He does.
He
You know what
burns
I'm
the best of them.
Yeah.
He
So
burns the best
so
of them.
so
He
I'm not
does.
gonna he was going back and forth. He had a good defensive play against Terry. They
Yeah,
got
for
up and they dapped it up after they was
They
jaw
did.
jacking a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah, for
right?
They
sure.
did.
So
For
it's like that's a competitive spirit that I like. I don't want to see that leave that kid, right? And what Bears fans are doing, in my opinion, is beating the dude down so bad that he's going to change the way he plays and
And I
lose
don't like that.
focus. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
want
And
him to still have that attitude because it's good to have it, but you know what I mean? The
I
coaching
think
staff needs to be the ones to get it in place. But the problem that I have is that the coaching staff, they're not doing their due diligence. So how
Mhm.
can you expect this from your players, but you're not showing the same thing?
Hello.
that's the same thing with but that's the same thing with a lot of NFL players. I'm trying to think of what player came to mind. There's somebody on our team that does the same thing. Like he is just who he is.
Yeah.
He's gritty, feisty.
Hmm.
Even Jaden, he's like, yeah, he after that Ravens game, he was pissed. Like
Hmm.
he was mad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Even and Terry was in the interview today. He saw that. He's like, yeah, nah, this kid got it. So like Tyreek's still gonna continue to be a good player. That secondary I got is really good. So he shouldn't let that affect him. Oh yeah, it's the same thing with Caleb too. Like I felt like throughout that game, Caleb was second guessing himself a little bit. He was
Yeah.
dancing around a little bit. It's like
Yeah. He
um,
was.
he has that.
What did I say
I,
last week, Kristy?
I know Aaron Rodgers is his favorite quarterback of all time. He got a little
Yep.
arrogance in him, just like A-Rod
Yeah.
does. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with
As
that.
as you should.
As long as you backing it up by play,
Which
Yeah.
he's not.
you can be arrogant as all you want. Like if you him,
Absolutely.
ain't nothing you can say. But like I said, like throughout that game, Caleb was he was a little jittery, just dancing around a little bit. Like there's some cases where it's like you missing this throw, bro, and you missing that. Like
that wasn't his best game because like throughout 3 quarters he only had like 35 yards.
he had less than 50 passing yards going into the fourth.
Yes, the fourth quarter.
And that's what I was really surprised about. I'm looking at this. I'm like, does this say what I think it says?
Yes, and it did. Like.
But you know, the bad thing about it is like
What?
we're almost used to that.
Yeah.
That's the way the Bears have been for quite some time now. Like I can think back to several games where, you know, we go into the third quarter, the fourth quarter with 50 yards passing. You know what I mean? And I always said it's like everything with Chicago is an arduous task. It's difficult. It's like pulling teeth, right?
Yeah.
And then I watch another team and I watch, you know, some other game, and it's like guys almost freely move the ball up and down the field. You know what I'm saying? And they may make a mistake and they may do this and that and the third, but it's not with Chicago. It's just like
it's so
like
hard to do.
A slow. It's like a plodding, like
yeah,
marching down the field at a snail's pace. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, what is the problem here?
And I don't know
and
what the problem
it's
is.
been like that for years, man. I don't get it. I don't get it.
The McCaskies. I mean, the McCaskies.
I feel y'all.
Let's start there.
Trust me, I know how it is. I've seen so many quarterbacks play here. I've seen, you got Dwayne Haskins for one. Like I felt like he was a solid prospect. Maybe he wasn't the best, but the head coach Jay Gruden didn't want him.
No,
our owner wanted him. Forced Dwayne Haskins upon him. It didn't work out. But then when we had Kevin O'Connell, who's the Vikings head coach, he was our OC too as well with Dwayne Haskins, and you saw him get better and better. And this game by game, like two or three games in, he was getting better, and I want him to be the head coach so he could work with Dwayne, and it probably would have been a pretty good thing to have. But that's what happens with ownership.
Everybody got to be involved, man. Like the coach, the GM. Everybody has to be in unison. Like, this is our guy. We're going to do everything we can to support him. I think the Bears are at that point with Caleb Williams, right? We was never at that point with Justin Fields. We weren't at that point with Mitch Trubisky either, right? And that's why those things crumbled, in my opinion, because you can't tell me that Justin didn't have some talent. He did,
yeah, for sure.
But they didn't really, you know what I mean? They didn't really do what they needed to do to build that up. You know what I mean? And of course, he didn't have weapons. But right now, you can see a major difference in, okay, we believe in this kid. This is who we want. And we're going to surround him with everything he needs to be prosperous. But the problem is, in my opinion, the Bears keep going the cheap route when it comes to coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I get you, man. I get
it is, bro. We got opportunities to get other guys, and you know, and you hear all this stuff. You hear all these rumors. Oh, this guy was interested. That Ben Johnson was interested. That was something that we heard today, right? That Ben Johnson supposedly was interested in, you know, being a part of the Bears last year, and we went with somebody else. And it's like, I don't know how true it is. I can't speak to it, but that's the rumor that's going around. And it could be some rumor that was dreamed up by some dude who wants to cause chaos and create these storylines in Chicago Bears land, which is what happens quite often. You know?
Yeah, we wanted Ben Johnson too, but Ben Johnson didn't want us. So
yeah. You know, you guys are probably in a boat like that, like us. You know what I mean? Like, where you were, not now, but you know, that coaching search, when you have a bad owner, when you have a history of, you know, failing, incompetence, right. Then nobody really wants to join that franchise and say, hey, let me be a part of the rebuild, because all of that goes on your resume. All of that does. You know what I mean? Wins and losses. So
I feel like that was probably the case with Ben Johnson. Like, he's looking at us as like, they don't got us on paper. It just don't look like nothing. I don't want to tarnish my name to come here.
Exactly.
So Dan Quinn got in here and he just worked with what he had, and I think if Jaden continues to play well, same thing with Caleb too for the Bears. You continue to play well. Um, Great players are going to want to come play for that team because you have the most important position in all the sports. When
Right.
you see that guy play well, and not only have the attitude and the work ethic, people want to come play for you. Just look at C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
People want to come.
that's
So
very true. All right,
Definitely.
so the Bears are going to Arizona, and we're playing a Cardinals team who is very good at home. Win or lose, Dan? What are your thoughts for this game on Sunday?
Man, after what I saw, I'm not too confident in what's going on in Chicagoland because number one, we were coming off a bye when we had that situation, right?
Which is
We should
crazy.
have been well prepared for that. And I said it last week. You know, if the Bears don't come out prepared, ready to focus the young players, everybody included, then it's an indictment on the coaching staff, and that's what it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
am I trusting what they're doing, or do I feel like they're going to get it together? They've closed practice to the
To
media.
the media, yep.
I guess because some players was being a little too honest in their opinions about stuff,
I
right?
mean, it happened last year, you remember?
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Yep. They need
So,
to suck it up.
you got a situation. I'm gonna say they try to right the ship. I know it is on the
Okay.
road, of course.
Yeah.
Um, Man, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they could right this ship and they start putting some things together. But being on the road, I just don't trust them on the road. If it is a difficult game, if it's a struggle game, I don't trust that the coaching staff is going to be making the right decisions again.
I
So
feel
I'm
the
gonna.
same way. I feel the
I
same way.
just don't trust it yet, man.
And you know what's crazy? Last week's show, I said I hope Caleb and DJ somehow work on that deep ball, that deep throw.
Hmm.
And come this past Sunday, we didn't see anything. We didn't see nothing. And
Yeah.
then everybody came at me on Twitter talking about oh, he don't need practice. He know what he's doing. All that nonsense. And
now let me ask y'all this because I saw this on Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. I saw it on the app
right.
too. Is it true that y'all just met with Caleb and no other prospect?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Don't
They
make that
shook.
face.
Well, they shook Jaden Daniels' hands. If you're asking
Yeah.
that question, yeah, they
Mm.
shook his hand.
I remember that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a situation where they didn't meet with any other prospects. They pretty much gave him the playbook.
Yep.
He knew he was going to get picked by Chicago. Everybody knew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a foregone conclusion. I think he was a consistent number one, though.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, for sure. He was. He
But
was. I guess people are looking at it from the aspect is where it's like you just
you
do your
still got to do your due diligence, right?
yeah. So like we did this like people were making fun of us for taking quarterbacks on top golf trips. Like we took
Wow.
every quarterback prospect, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels. We took Caleb. We asked Caleb Williams, him too.
Hmm.
Drake May. We took.
Caleb didn't go though, did he?
I don't remember. I don't know if he didn't go, but I know we met with him.
I know he wasn't meeting with certain teams. He wasn't
He
meeting with teams and stuff like
he
that.
met with us.
He did. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know at the draft he met with us for sure, and they just picked that shit. I wanted Caleb Warren. I ain't gonna lie to you. The boy got special talent.
You do?
He got special talent. So it's just doing your due diligence, man. Like you can't leave you can't leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
You just can't when it comes to stuff like this, especially number one, number two, number three pick. You just gotta do your homework. You gotta do a deep dive into these guys, not only X's and O's, but like I said before, the person too. So
Yeah. The person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we end the show, I do picks of the week. So we're gonna go through the sheet and give our picks who's gonna win. Okay, y'all ready?
Let's
okay,
get
we
it.
can,
All right, hold on one second. All right, so for Thursday's game, we have the Texans and the Jets. The Jets are always on primetime TV, by the way, it seems like. I don't know why. But who y'all got?
I'm gonna go with the Tech. That's tough. I may
Oh, it shouldn't be.
this nah. This may sound nasty. Um, Keep in mind, Nico Collins isn't playing. Stephon Diggs isn't playing either. So they're going to be.
Guess where they sell. Oh,
So they're going to be down two of their receivers. They got Tank
that's
Dell and they got decent tight ends.
hmm
I don't know if DJ Reed is playing. I may pick the Jets only because the Texans are injured. But
that's fair.
I want to pick the Texans because I feel like they're just a better coach team.
Yeah.
I may just stick with the Texans just because of the coaching, because that Jets stuff is crazy. I don't know what they have, no contingency plan. They don't know what they're doing. they don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They're trading players left and right, and it's just not working. It's just not working.
Trading 4 players, getting just all types of stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna take the Jets. I'm taking the Jets in this one as well. I think they're gonna be at home, so it's at Jets home stadium, so they'll have that advantage. And then at some point in time, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, the whole situation there got to hit.
They're gonna get hot.
And they got to score some points. So I'm gonna take the Jets and say, hey, this is a week where they kind of right their wrong a little bit and provide a little bit of hope, even though it'll be bogus.
Yeah.
I just got the Texans. I don't trust the Jets right now. Like you said, they got too much going on.
They do.
Too much. Aaron Rodgers needs to hang it up. Like he just come on.
Get up out of there. It's time to go.
Next game we have New Orleans. They're visiting Carolina.
Saints.
Saints.
The Panthers are just bad. They have the worst.
Not bad.
They have the worst. They have the worst owner in sports. They have the worst owner now.
I got
Shot. What's that? No. That's not him.
David Tepper.
Yeah, David Tepper.
He's bad. He's bad.
Next game we got the Commanders and Giants.
I'm gonna let y'all pick. I hate doing game picks for my own team. I just hate, even on my show, I don't even do it.
I understand. No, I got the Commanders. Y'all got it.
What you got there?
Coming off that big win, y'all got it.
Man, this is a division game, right? Mm-hmm. And what I saw from the Giants last night looked terrible when they played Pittsburgh. This is in I think this is in the Giants, right? This is at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run with the Giants. I'm gonna run with the Giants.
You're a nasty individual, Dan. Okay. Okay. I ain't making no pick. I hate doing picks on my own team. I just hate doing it.
Just don't be biased. Be honest.
Ah, boy. It's gonna be a tough game in my opinion. Dexter Lawrence is a freaking animal, but first time he played him, we double teamed and he didn't get a sack or pressure against us. Just running the ball. I hate doing picks on my own team. I'm gonna go with my team. I'm gonna go with my team. We should blow them out, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But it's those division games, man. It's tough.
It's tough, man.
It's tough. Mm-hmm. But I'll pick my team in another dicey. I hate playing the Giants. I just hate playing them.
All right, then we got Miami at Buffalo.
I
got the Bills.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I'll take Buffalo as well.
Then we got Commanders in Cleveland.
Chargers.
I'm sorry, Chargers.
Come on now, Kristy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You thinking about the Commanders that much? Let me find out. That's what we doing. There, you see what she doing there?
No,
you see what she doing? No, it's the Chargers and the Browns. I'm picking the Chargers. The Chargers got a great defense too up there. Their defense is really good. Their defense. I know Jameis Winston don't got nothing to lose, but I'll pick the Chargers.
This past Sunday.
Yeah, I'll pick the Chargers on this. They only allow 13 points per game, so yeah.
That's a tough one for me too.
It is.
I think it's tough because I just want to see Jameis do well again. I like seeing him
Hyped up.
with his quotes and all of the stuff that he
Yep.
does, man.
Talk about
I
It's
something.
believe.
hilarious,
If
bro.
you eat the W and
It's
whatnot,
hilarious,
yeah,
man. It's so funny. Like last week, did you see that? Did y'all see it last week? The clip of him, he was like,
yeah.
God is good, God is great, and you know what I mean.
As long
He
as we
gave her the
believe.
same answer
Yep.
again, and
Yep.
it's just funny, man. Then he said, there's a white boy in Detroit that said this. He quoted Eminem, and then praised the Lord in the same breath.
Wow.
He's just funny, man. He's a funny dude. I like him. But I'm gonna have to go Chargers as well. I have to go Chargers as well.
I got the Chargers too. Next, we have New England visiting Tennessee.
New England. I'm picking New England.
That's a team full of trash right there. Both of them.
Yeah,
It
they
Both of
both
them
is.
suck,
garbage.
bro. Both of them is bottom 5 in the league, in my opinion.
It
Yeah.
is, but I'm banking on better quarterback play here from the Patriots. Feel like I like Drake May as a prospect coming out. He got all the physical tools you need. He got the intangibles. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's starting because I know he got a concussion in that game. He had to come out. I'm gonna go with the Patriots here. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Tennessee on this one.
Me too. Yeah, they're at
Yeah,
home too.
yeah, nasty. Okay.
I mean, it's better who's the worst in my opinion. But
I feel you. I feel you. The lesser
Tennessee
of
gonna
two
be at home.
evils.
So
I feel you. I feel you.
next game we have Dallas and Atlanta.
Can I curse on here?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Do what you do.
Fuck Dallas. Go Falcons. I no. I don't care. Dallas has one of the worst defenses in the league. They have one of the worst defenses in the league. It's bad. They can't run the ball and they can't defend the run. They just
I'm gonna take Dallas in this one.
I'm going Atlanta. I like how they've been playing lately. Hey,
then you just want.
and they're at home too.
Then you just want to be. You just want to do the opposite.
I gotta go Dallas, man. I might go to this game. Matter of fact, I should go to it. I'm out here in Atlanta, so I might go to this game.
That Mercedes-Benz Stadium is really good. The food
It's dope.
cheap.
It's nice out there.
The food cheap too.
Oh, it is, man. I went to I took my son to the Notre Dame game a couple weeks ago, last week, and man, popcorn is like $1. You know what I mean? You get a drink and it's free refills. Nachos is like $2.50.
Boy, Chicago
It's crazy.
Never.
It's crazy.
Never.
My son, he had a hamburger. The hamburger was like $4 or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
What?
Arthur Blank is a cool owner, though. I like Arthur Blank.
Man, I went to a WNBA All-Star game this past summer. I think a popcorn was $20 at Footprint. $20.
Yeah, my son got it. He got a popcorn. He had candy. I went up there and I was like, "Yeah, let me get it." I said, "What do you want?" He wanted some candy, a popcorn, and a drink, and it was like $8 for all of it. I was like, "Okay, cool."
Oh my God. Okay, next game we got the Raiders visiting Cincinnati.
Bengals, even though they're not that good either. They're really not good. They're not good. The Raiders, they're not good either. But you just gotta go. You just gotta go with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and just hope for the best.
I agree. I gotta go with the Bengals on that one too.
Yeah, me too. Next we got the Broncos visiting Baltimore. And I got Baltimore.
This gonna be a good game to me. Only because I don't think the Ravens defense is that good, but the Broncos defense is pretty stingy.
What, top 5, I think? Top 10?
It's literally the Ravens got one of the best offenses. The Broncos got their defense is pretty good.
It is.
Oh man.
I'm writing these down, by the way. So at the end of the week, you know what I mean? Sunday night, Monday night, I'm probably gonna post this on X or whatever and tag you in it too, Caleb, just to let you know
you nasty.
how bad, how horrible your picks are.
You
So
nasty. He
I'm
trying to keep
just
receipts on me. I see. See what he doing, Chris? He trying to get back for that loss. I see what you do.
got to.
Smart.
All right.
That's
I'm
smart.
a since you doing that, then I'm gonna go with the Ravens, okay?
No. Keep that same energy.
I'm going with them.
Keep that same energy. Nope.
Nah, but nah. In all honesty, though, it's
My
gonna
bad, y'all.
be it's gonna be a stingy game. Lamar is 1-1. That defense is just. Who do you trust more, Bo Nix and Sean Payton, or do you trust that Ravens defense?
Well, I can't stand Sean Payton. I think he's way overrated as a coach. I'm going Ravens,
Going Ravens.
hands
Ravens,
down.
yeah.
I never put my trust in Sean Payton. He's won
I
one
don't blame
Super
him.
Bowl, bro. Why does everybody act like he's the greatest thing
You know he has the same
coaching?
record. You know he has the same record as Mike McCarthy.
He
All time.
reminds me of Doc Rivers. Doc
Yeah.
Rivers is an NBA coach who's overrated. Same thing with Sean Payton.
That's
I
nasty.
go. I will
That's
go
tough.
with I will go with the Ravens though. I
That's
just
tough.
think Lamar and Derrick Henry just gonna wear you down as the game goes on. Then they gonna hit you with Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and I don't think Deontay Johnson's gonna get a lot of targets because he's just new coming into that offense. But you just gotta hope that Ravens coaching, especially Harbaugh, won't mess it up. So. That's something the Ravens fans been getting real upset about this year. So I'll go with the Ravens.
Next game, the Bears and the Cardinals.
Now,
Bears.
time for me to get some get back. Okay, you would already won, but
I got.
I ain't gonna disrespect y'all, bro. I think y'all winning that game. This is a game where you gotta, as far from a Bears perspective, you just gotta bounce back.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do is bounce back.
I think this
Got
is the
to.
top. I think this is the type of game. Well, I'm looking at it from a football analyst perspective. Just unbiased. This has to be a game where you're really going to see who this team is really made of, and
Yeah.
you're really going to see what your coaching staff is made of. If y'all lose this game, it's going to be bad. But I feel like that defense is going to be good enough for y'all to keep y'all in the game. And Arizona's defense ain't all that. We put up a lot of points against them, so we destroyed them. We didn't even let them get over 21 points. They only had 14 against us. So yeah, y'all should win that game. I got the Bears winning that game.
I'm taking the Bears too, man. I think this is a situation where the Bears, it's not, you don't want to say a must win in game 8 of the season. We're 4-3, right? Is it must win? I think it's a must win because of the narratives that you got running out here right now.
For sure.
You got the coaching staff. You got the coaching staff made errors. You got the players making errors. You got people undisciplined. We got bad play calling. We got pre-snap penalties galore. You know what I mean? They gotta really come to the table, focus and lock in this week in practice, game planning, and put something else out there because the narratives in Chicago with this fan base, it gets crazy quick, man.
Real.
So
Yeah.
they better right the wrongs right now, right the ship right
Immediately.
now.
I got the Bears winning, but don't underestimate the Cardinals because they're a good home team. I think they're one of my sleeper teams this year, in my opinion. But if the Bears lose, season over with, in my opinion. Because we got the Patriots next week.
Yeah, I didn't play
Then
any
we got our
division.
division.
The Patriots ain't nobody. We ain't worried about it.
Yeah,
No, we ain't playing nobody in the
I-
division yet.
Chris,
don't
you
matter.
gotta relax. Yeah, y'all are being the Patriots.
No, I mean, we
I
can
think-
beat the Patriots, of course.
I think
but
those
after
division-
that, it's the problem.
I think those division games is that to put y'all division games all the way in the back part of the schedule is
Yeah, but
they couldn't spread it out.
like they normally do. I know, but
They do
That's
us
where
like
I'm
this
at with
all
it.
the time, man.
Hey, we got a
Like
week
last
14.
year, we didn't have any back-to-back home games. I think it was way back, just back and
Yeah.
forth the whole time.
yeah.
And we got a week 14 bye, so I know how
crazy.
that feels. Yeah.
All right, next game we got Jacksonville and Philly.
I hate Philly. I hate Philly so much. I hate their fans. I
get
just
it.
hate it. I gotta go with Philly. They're just a better team. AJ Brown is there now, so Jalen Hurts got somebody to rely on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Philly as well.
I gotta take Philly.
We got the Rams visiting Seattle.
That's a hard game to pick too, in my opinion. But I may go with the Rams. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Puka and Cooper Cup are back.
Oh, that's right.
They back now.
I forgot about Cup.
They got a
I'm
good
gonna
running
Seattle.
game. They got two underrated edge rushers over there for the Rams.
Yeah, Jared Verse been having a good year.
He's been going
Jared Verse
crazy.
been having a real good year.
He's been going crazy. Seahawks got a good wide receiver trio too.
They do.
It could be a high scoring game, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm gonna go with the better coach here. I think Sean McVay is a really good head coach. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
What you got, Dan?
I'm taking the Rams as well. I don't trust certain things on Seattle.
Okay. I got Seattle. This is a good game. Lions and Green Bay.
Lions. Sorry. I know y'all hate those two teams. So
I'm gonna go for the Lions every time.
But the Lions, they're the number one team right now, bro. Like
yes.
They're good on defense.
All the time. They're complete.
They're great on defense. They're great on offense.
Yeah. Yep.
Ain't not much you can really say. Jared Goff playing out of his mind. Amon-Ra.
Playing really good.
Yeah, so I gotta go with the Lions here.
Jameson Williams is under some type of investigation, though. I just seen.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams.
Yeah, the police is doing something. He always got something going on.
He had a gun in the car or something like that. Got avoided arrest or something. I don't know. Something.
Oh wow. Okay.
He ain't gonna be playing no time soon.
No.
Wow. Next game Sunday night, we got the Colts visiting Minnesota.
I got Minnesota.
Me too, Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
And then for Monday night, we got the Buccaneers visiting Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Yep, same.
Chris Godwin, Mike Evans ain't gonna be playing. Mm-hmm. You gotta rely on Jalen McMillan. So
yeah, and it's in Kansas City, man. It's in Kansas City on a Monday night. The crowd, you know what I mean? They're gonna be into
they're
it.
Gonna be 8-0. So
they'll be 8-0, but they sliding by. Sooner or later, they're gonna take a couple losses. Watch, because they're really not playing that good. To be honest,
I cannot wait. All right, y'all. So this concludes another episode of Follow on the Play. I am your host, Kristy Love. This is our guest, Caleb, and my co-host, Dan. Where can they find you, Caleb?
You can find me on Twitter. It's Caleb Justin. Just the A's and the X, the U's and the X. So just follow me on there. Talk about anything. Just about anything. You want to follow good content. I try to remain positive about my team.
Yeah.
I try to, and I'm still my fandom's still healing a little bit. So just week by week, season by season, man. So yeah, just great content over here, man. You can hit me up on my pod. You can whatever you want.
Shout out the name of that pod again too.
Command Time. We always go live on Twitter. We go live on YouTube. You can interact. You want to come up and talk. We allow people to do that. We'll send you the link to the StreamYard, and we have a fun time on there. We have a fun time on there.
That's what's up.
Where can I find you, Dan?
Of course, at Danikin_DG3. Of course, at 3 Kings _Midway. That's 3 Kings of the Midway podcast that we do. Of course, here with Kristy Love doing the Follow on the Play podcast as well. Shout out to Kayla for joining us today, man. We appreciate you stopping by. Congratulations on the win.
Yes,
I will say that. That's the last good thing I'm gonna say about you or Washington. I've done my thing. I've done it. I've done what I should have done, which is congratulate you, and that's all I'm giving you.
Appreciate that. DG's at the end of the day. Hey, a lot of people hate us right now.
Yeah, they do. They do. They do.
That's how you know we coming back up a little bit. When people hating on you,
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Kristy Love. Follow me on TikTok at Kristy Love Sports. And make sure you guys check out Team NBS Media on all social media platforms and online at teamnbsmedia.com. All right, y'all. Until next week. Bye.
Bear down.